Hi. So, I know I haven't uploaded in a bit, at least here, but I finally found good inspiration for a video. So, if you checked my community tab, you'd actually know I've been trying to work on this video for a bit. I wanted to start on the 1st. It's the 16th. Don't ask what happened. Anyways, so, you ever seen one of those Christmas villages? Sometimes they're fall, sometimes they're Halloween, but you've probably seen one or two, at least in your life. Maybe at some cool place, or just one of your family members had some. Anyways, I've really loved those for a long time, and so I thought, what if I just made them in Minecraft? And I'm not going to make some tiny, small build that's like actual size if they were in Minecraft, but I'm going to make it full scale. So, to the player, probably actually a bit bigger than the player. But just so this video doesn't take literally years for me to make, I'm giving myself two rules. One, I know I said it's only the 16th, and that would give me less than 10 days to do, but I want to try and get this video out by the 25th, at least. I think I can do it. And second rule, no block displays or Axiom. If you don't know what Axiom is, it's basically an insanely good builder mod. But with that, I will be using World Edit if I need it. Probably not, probably more just to, like, change up textures of some things, but other than that, I think those are the only rules. Let's get started. Sorry if the time-lapse is bad, I'm still getting kind of used to using Replay Mod, and I didn't really know how to save the video, so I'm just kind of recording the replays. So sorry in advance if they're all bad. So as you can kind of tell here, I'm not the best at terraforming. Still kind of learning it. Mainly in super flat worlds. I'm kind of better at it in regular worlds, but here you can see I'm actually taking a lot of time on the main area up here. Right about here, I think I'm just kind of figuring, or trying to think of what to do. Mainly, I'm not the best at coming up with ideas. Okay, so it is day 2, building this winter village kind of thing. Honestly, yesterday I was kind of lazy and barely did much. I barely got the layout of the terraform out, or what I'm going to terraform. I only got the first 3 layers. I don't know if I'm going to do more, probably a bit more. But that is just not enough. So today I'm going to have to work extra hard to get this done. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a shorter time lapse, not as long as the other ones. Mainly because all I really built here was the main starting of infrastructure on this build, the bridges, which there should have actually been more of, but I only put 2 in. I didn't realize I could put a third one up, but I chose not to. I don't know why I really put the one side of the bridge this close to the edge. I could have put it way further back. It made the roads not like right on the edge of the cliff, but can't really go back now. Oh yeah, I'm filming. I'm like recording my voiceover for these like way after I've done this. Like this is a day or two after I've recorded the actual building, so I know what happens, and I know that later on I regret this tremendously. And it was a pretty short time lapse, but that's about it. Okay, so no time lapse because I honestly didn't realize that there was that little that I had to build here. Because I need to actually build the land before I can build the other stuff. So yeah, just 2 bridges over here. And yeah, now to actually do some work. Okay, so here's one of the longer time-lapse in the video. That's why it's more sped up than some of the other ones. But here I'm mainly just building the first area, whatever you want to call this place, of the 3 plateaus, whatever they are. Pretty sure that's the right word for these. Still not the best at terraforming, but I've definitely gotten better than when I started, when I would just use completely stone and a flat wall. So, I'm very happy I could learn a bit on how to do this. As mentioned earlier, I will be using World Edit, which you'll see here in a minute, as I used to terraform the cliffside. Not cliffside, a like waterbed kind of thing. Whatever the heck that is. Right here, I'm just kind of spamming out coarse dirt to add some more texture to the dirt part, but also keep in some of the texture to the stone, which I do right there, and half the gravel falls in, and you can see me repairing that. Honestly, probably one of the most annoying parts was dealing with the gravel in this whole build, because even later on, I struggle with it, mainly because I left it hollow for the most part, and so the gravel would just fall, and it would be really annoying to use. So I kind of cut it out towards the end, in the terraforming area. So over here, this area was originally going to be a lot smaller, and not have like as much here, but towards the end there's still not much here, but it's definitely one of the more decorated areas. I don't know really why, but later on I cut out using grass blocks as another layer to cliff sides, because on the back layer I still even add some depth to it, and I could definitely add it, but I just kind of go with coarse dirt. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't keep in the grass. It definitely adds more texture, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so there's some World Edit being used. Just started over here. I don't know why I didn't do this part when I was still working over here. I definitely could have. I just didn't think to do that. I think I was thinking of that when I was recording this. I don't know. It was a few days ago. I don't remember much. So. And then over there, use some World Edit. Okay, first layer done. I don't know if I'm going to do the second layer exactly. But we'll see. Maybe later. I don't know. This is probably the longest time lapse in the whole video here. It was almost, I'm trying to think how long was it. It was like 50 minutes long or something of just me placing stone. I don't know why I straight off from just going from the top down, because it's clearly the faster method. I use it later to go even faster. But right here, I just kind of dropped it for a second. I was like, why did I do that? And I go back to it immediately. So this recording probably was the hardest one to film. Not film, it was actually pretty easy. But, like, it took the longest time, it felt. Because later on, I think there is one that's a bit longer. But the reason I wouldn't say it's as hard to film is because I actually enjoyed filming that part. I did not really enjoy filming this. Around this point in the challenge, I was kind of just bored with it, which I didn't want to happen. That's why I recorded this in multiple days. If I didn't, I would have been able to record this in, like, maybe 3 days at minimum. But I was like, I don't want to get bored with this. I want to make sure it's a high-quality video for people to be entertained by. But as I was filming this, I was like, I want to give up. This is so painful. But I persevered and got this done. The grass was definitely the most tedious part to do, because I had to fill all of that in, and then I had to think, how am I going to lay out the extra slope over here? It wasn't as hard over there, because mainly the slope doesn't get much, but over here I actually planned for, out of like 5 slopes, to actually go up, out of all of them. I think it's the only one that does that. It might not even be this one, it might be a different one that I'm thinking of, but I'm pretty sure there's a second one. Okay, no, there isn't, I was wrong. I always, whatever. Anyways, so I get that world edited, and from here on it's pretty easy. I just kind of did the same thing as the previous thing, where I just kind of filled in the grass, put some coarse dirt in, and then did the same thing on the other side. And then the main thing here that was like tedious to do is I never planned for there to be a third plateau up there. If that's not the right word, I don't know what it is. I never planned for that, so I had to actually like consciously think from the top of my head, how am I going to build this back part, or to the third plateau, because I never planned for this. I had these 2 areas planned. I covered a lot of stuff in this that I was really going to do, but the third plateau was never meant to be in this. But I still did it because I was like, I need to have more to this. This build is way too small. Anyways, I'm kind of just working on the waterbed here for some reason. I don't know why. I just skipped doing the plateau up there, or the cliffside to the plateau. But I did. I'm working on the river here. That was probably the hardest part of the video. Not the fact of building it. The building it was actually pretty simple. Is actually doing the waterbed there, or river, whatever you want to call it. Is because I don't finish it till the last day. I do not finish the whole river waterfall thing till the last day. That's how hard it was. I meant to do that by day 3. This, I'm pretty sure, is day 2. I'm recording this after, so I barely remember. So I'm pretty sure this is day 2, but I struggled with this until day 7, I think that was. I think yesterday was day 7, I don't remember. But I really struggled doing the lake bed down here, especially. Whatever you want to call it. I just keep saying bed because it's like water. Whatever. I'm just using random words to sound fancy. I don't know why exactly. This was probably the most tedious part because I just didn't want to use World Edit because I was like, I don't want this video to go by too fast. If I use World Edit, I'm gonna just get bored with it all. But I also, it was honestly painful to do this because I was just sitting here. I think this took me over like 10-15 minutes to just break down all this grass. It looks really fast here, but that's just because it's very fast. Another thing I never planned was actually to do this lake. I was like, I need to do more stuff with the river because it can't just go nowhere, so I just last minute kind of threw this lake in, and I was like, hopefully that goes well. Anyways, I planned to go another layer, but then since I'm on super flat, it's bedrock down there, so it just didn't make any sense to do that. Honestly, from over here, I don't know if you guys could see it that way. Maybe some of you can, maybe some of you don't. But from over here, it doesn't look like the lake goes all the way against it, but it does, and it's just like kind of more like an optical illusion, kind of. You get what I mean, I hope. Anyways, using the quick world edit over here to get it done faster, because, as I said earlier, this was part of the challenge I was getting bored at. I did enjoy doing the terraforming and like texturing of stuff, because I don't know what it is, it's just always fascinated me to do texturing of builds. Anyways, you can see here I'm like trying to do all this stuff with the water, and I'm like, that's not really working, I don't really like it. So I tried to do the ice to just finish it up and get it over with, and I was like, that doesn't look good, but that's kind of what I want. So just get rid of that, and then get rid of that ice trying to do that, and then I drain it all, because I didn't like it. Okay, so for the most part I'm done with the terraform and still have that third layer to do, but that I can do tomorrow. This is probably going to wrap up day 2. See y'all on the next day. Okay, so I don't remember if this was day 3 or not. Yet again, recording this a good bit after I recorded this part. Pretty sure it's day 3 that I did this. But as I was saying in the previous time lapse, is that this part, I don't know why I struggled so much with the previous cliffside, because this one was a lot easier to do than the previous one for some reason. I don't know exactly why. I know it's like half as short, but still, it felt way easier to do than the other stuff. And you can see over here, if I move the camera, that I actually built over the edge from where I meant to go. So, I think that's always just kind of funny, that every time I build, that's not the first time I've done it in a build, I always, like, oversight what I'm gonna build, and then it's like, well, at least I had extra to it, and I worked harder to do that. I think that's maybe one of the reasons I struggled so much with it, is because I just had extra to it. Anyways, with the lake design, or like lake, river, whatever the heck you want to call those things, later on, I don't know exactly what day I did get it done, but originally up here on the third plateau, I was thinking, what does the lake or waterfall come from? And I could not think of anything besides another river. I know it's kind of like spoilers for ahead, but still, it's like, I don't know why, I just could not think of something, because originally I was just going to do a lake, another lake. I mean, I'm building it right here, so I guess it wasn't exactly spoilers. It's, like, not too far. I'm building the waterfall, I guess, not the river, but it might be day 4 that I built. No, it is day 3 to the day that the time lapse, I think. I don't exactly remember. As I said multiple times already, I'm filming this way after I've done this, and that wouldn't have actually happened if I just was not lazy. I would have gotten this done, like, maybe a day earlier. It was gonna come out the same day no matter what, but I would have had this, like, done a day earlier and been able to rest longer and just had to mainly edit it, because the main thing I feared about when doing this challenge is because this is the first video I'm actually editing, and I'm editing it myself. I've never edited a video before. I mean, I'm not doing too much editing, I'm just kind of putting the pieces together, because I record this in multiple pieces, and then I have to just put those together for a full-length video. Anyways, up there, I'm kind of just finishing that up, and currently, this was actually probably my favorite, like, look at the whole build, besides the whole fact that the rivers are empty and the bridges are just red wool right now, but later on, by the time I get those finished, or, like, completely done, it's already, like, winterish, and I kind of like it in this, like, spring kind of vibe here. I think it just looks nice. Honestly, if I was not doing this in Christmas time, I would have loved to do this anytime, because this is just a cool build in general. I mean, originally I did wish to do something like this for a different time, but didn't have the time to. But now that I have the time to, I'm doing it in Christmas, which I didn't really care for, but here we are. Anyways, so I'm kind of just wandering, figuring out what to do. And then I get work on the bridge, because I was like, I want to get this done. It's just kind of sitting there and looking ugly. So I try to work on something here, and I've just kind of roaming around for like 3 minutes or something, like, figuring out what to do, because I didn't look any references up at this point of the video. Later on, I'll use references for stuff if I, like, need to, but I don't currently at this point in the video, because I was just like, I would rather keep to original design. And I kind of regret that, because I was sitting here for like 5 minutes figuring out what I was going to do the, like, layer of the bridge as, and then I just kind of chose more stone brick over it. Why are my dogs barking? What the heck could be there? Anyways, I don't know if you guys heard that, but you probably didn't. Anyways, just, honestly, my favorite part of the build is probably this bridge up here, because it's the one I put the most thought into. I mean, it looks off-centered at first, but, I mean, I really tried with it. I thought it was just really cool how it have like, a kind of dam design on it. It doesn't have any, like, legs to it. That, legs, what? If I just said a bridge had legs? Anyways, it doesn't have any, supports to it. I think that's really cool. Okay, it's day 4, and I really need to pick up the pace. Yesterday, day 3, I only did up top area, the 3rd plateau, and the 2 bridges, and that's it. I planned by day 4 to be almost done with the buildings, and I just finished the terraforming. So I have a lot of work to do. Still got to terraform up here and up here. Then I also have to do the paths and layouts of all the buildings. So it's not gonna be fun, but let's do this. Okay, this is like day 4 or 5. I don't exactly remember, but honestly, I definitely could have done this the day before. I don't know why I just like let it go aside. For all I know, this is just the one day I actually took a break in between recordings, because every other recording besides I think day 3, I only recorded one time for about maybe an hour or 2. But day 3 I was like, I really want to get work done, and it's actually probably the least productive day I did, but I still was like, I want to get some extra work done, and I don't want to sit here straight at my computer for an hour or 3. So I took a break mid-thing, and that might be why this isn't in the same time lapse, but I'm pretty sure this was day 4 or 5. Don't exactly remember. Anyways, if you haven't been able to tell, anyways, I am not the best at commentating. I don't really do that. I'm just kind of record stuff or make stupid little edits on for shorts or for the main videos. I just kind of sit here for a bit and I'll just chill, talk to myself as I usually do, just trying to figure out what's going on in a recording. So I think right about here I was just trying to figure out what to do, but still not the best at planning stuff. Okay, so finished the terraforming after a long time of work, and now for the annoying and tedious part. Actually placing down the snow. Well, better get to work sooner than... So I talked in a previous time-lapse that one of them was the longest. I was wrong. This one's the longest. I don't know what I exactly said in the previous one. I might have said that there's a longer one, but this is the longest recording I took. I sat here for an hour straight just placing snow. Well, I don't know if that's the whole thing. Probably isn't, but this is probably day 4 or 5. I know exactly what day 7 is, so that's why I'm just kind of saying day 4 or 5, because I don't exactly know what was then. But I remember day 7 because that was literally yesterday. I'm recording the voiceovers in time-lapse, like, the day after, basically. So I remember day 7, I think it is. It might be day 8. I have no idea. This challenge has been kind of straining on my brain. Not really, but kind of. So I'm just trying to guess what day it is here. I should have checked, honestly, but I am way too lazy to do that. Anyways, the snow was probably the worst part of this whole video, because you can't world edit snow. If you are a builder and you use world edit, you know you cannot world edit snow. You have to place that all by hand. There might be a different mod I don't know about to help place snow, but with world edit, the only mod I'm using besides replay mod, you have to place it all by hand. And that's the most annoying part of this whole video. Anyways, I know you guys definitely, if you're just seeing this for the first time, which I'm assuming most of you are like first-time viewers, which thank you for watching to this point in the video. But I know none of you check my community tab. Just know this is where like I talk the most about like what videos I'm gonna do. So I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm not gonna be like other people, ask you to subscribe or like. I'm just gonna say check out my community tab if you want to be more involved with what I'm doing. But if you're one of the random people that have actually seen it, you would know I actually meant to record this video a while ago. And as I said at the start of the video, I started this on the 16th. I meant to start this on the 1st. It's just kind of random to bring up, but the main reason I didn't, since none of you will probably know, is because I got an ear infection. I would have definitely had this video done way longer ago, and might have actually been able to put more effort in, because I started stressing towards the end, because I was so close to Christmas, which is, as I said at the start of the video, the deadline. So I just tried to work as hard as I can, but it's just kind of random to bring up. I don't know exactly why I brought it up, but that's why the video was delayed. It definitely would have been out sooner, because until I started recording this second try at it, because I started recording it when I had the ear infection, but I was just like, I was too tired to do it, and ear infection, obviously. But when I started recording this, I was like, I don't want to upload this till the deadline. And that would honestly make it seem like it was a lot closer, which it was still. I finished filming, not the editing part, but I finished the filming of the actual building by the 22nd. It's the 23rd when I'm recording these time-lapses, because, yet again, idiot me doesn't know how to fucking save any of the replay mod stuff. So, I'm actually kind of glad I took a break from that, because I honestly probably would have actually stressed more if I was to, like, English is difficult. I would have probably stressed more having it come out too soon, which I actually did when I first started recording it, because I honestly almost finished it in one day, because I did not make it big enough, and, like, actually put detail into it. I was just like, I want to get a video out. I don't really care about what happens. I just want to get a video out, keep my channel up. But I finished a way to fill in that gap, and then I actually got to work on this, and actually attempting at it. So, be glad I had an ear infection, because my video would not be as good, not be as great, if I did not. Anyway, so, as I said, the snow was the most tedious part to do in this whole video. I mean, later on, there's something definitely tedious about something else that I'm going to do. But the snow was definitely more tedious than that, because it includes that. You'll see later on, I'm not going to spoil it, because I don't think it was even on this day that I did it. I'm pretty sure this is day 4, because that was the day I recorded the most. I recorded, I think, 3 different time-lapses. I think this is the 3rd one. I have no idea. As I said, I'm not checking. I'm just kind of looking over them, doing the voiceovers, and making sure that it's not just me sitting there for 5 minutes just thinking of what to do. Because I honestly did that a few times. Anyways, I finally get around to doing the river, because I had a good idea off camera, in between, like, day 3 and 4, whatever day this is, to where I would do, like, packed ice on the outside to show that it's more frozen, and that it's more tough since it's closer to the rim, where more water would be accumulated at that part since there's all packed together, and then blue ice regular ice towards the center, because it's not as dense. Anyways, I tried to do the lake down here, but in a minute you'll see that I just quickly drain it, because I did not have enough room. I planned this to go up way higher, but I only had about 2 layers that I could go up without it overflowing. So I just kind of said, to heck with that. Well, originally I tried to do glass, but you'll see I'll actually do it way better later. And if you're seeing the glass and you're like, why doesn't that look like it in my other videos? If for some reason you've seen my other videos on Minecraft, it's because I'm not using Optifine here. Optifine has the connecting glass thing. I'm not using that here, because I don't have a way to use Optifine when I'm using Replay Mod. I definitely would have if I had a way to while using Replay Mod, but I did not. So just know I am choosing not to have cool looking glass and some other things for you guys to have stupid time lapses of me just roaming around placing ice in snow. Anyways, here's where I drained the lake, because I didn't need it to be that way already. I could have done it a different time, and then I fill in the rest of the snow. I just hit my mic. Anyways, I fill in the rest of the snow on, I finally do it on the bridge, the second one at least. And this, I was kind of just thinking of what to do here, and then I was like, I'm just going to wrap it up. Okay, finally got all the snow placed down, and I actually did most of the river. Still working on down here, because it's going to go higher than this, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. But other than that, we're almost done for the day. Just got to do the structures, not structures, the layouts of what the buildings are going to be, and then should wrap up day 4. This is probably the shortest or second shortest time lapse in the whole video, because I'm just kind of putting out the layout of the structures that I'm going to be building them at. I think that's day 5 that I do that. Yeah, it's day 5 that I do that, and then I was just kind of figuring out where I want to put some stuff. Originally there was going to be a lot more buildings, but I realized I didn't have enough space for the level of buildings I want to do. I will say later on I definitely should have put more effort into the buildings. You'll see in a bit that I actually, like, kind of just wanted to finish this up, and I don't put necessarily enough effort into the buildings. So, I'm not going to say what they are yet, so it's more of a surprise when they get actually built later on. But up here where you're seeing the green, green is houses, red is the, like, main infrastructure of a town, kind of thing, whatever. I'm just kind of, like, figuring out what to do at this point, because I honestly didn't know I'd make it this far recording this. I honestly thought I would give up at one point, but I'm glad I didn't, because I actually had kind of fun with it, and I hope you guys have fun. If you made it to this point for watching this, thank you all. You guys are the reason I have such an amazing job. Whether you guys care or not, I am grateful for anyone that watches me. So, over there, I kind of finish doing that house, the house structures. I only put 3 for some reason. I should have definitely put more. But over here, building another structure. Yet again, I'm not going to say what yet, but it's probably pretty clear for being right next to the lake, or beach, kind of, whatever that is. I just kind of stand there for a minute, thinking of what I'm going to put there, because I knew I needed to put something there, and originally I was going to put some shops and stuff, but never did. Well, kind of never did. I only put one thing there, and I was just kind of thinking of what to do. Yeah, this recording is on 2 times speed, and I stood there for at least a minute. That's how long it took me to think to build just a rectangle. Anyways, that's kind of all I really did, is get ready to build the structures. I think this was the end of day 4, or day 5, whatever it was. No, this was day 4. I'm pretty sure that's when I did buildings. I was just trying to figure out what to do, because I wasn't, oh yeah, I forgot. I was recording while recording. I left my replay mod on while I was doing the structures on accident. So you guys just see me doing whatever the heck I do whenever I record, from, like, actual, like, point of view during then. So I think that's the whole thing. As I kind of just stand there for a minute, that is all I did this whole recording. That's literally it. Okay, got the layouts done. Not too many of them. Probably gonna eventually add more. But now that we have those done, should be ready for day 5. This wraps up day 4. Okay, it is day 5 of building this winter village, and finally starting to work on the actual buildings. This has honestly been a challenge for me. Honestly never thought I'd even make it this far doing this. This is one of the biggest build projects I've ever done. Well, let's not waste time. Get to work. So the funny thing about this recording is I actually forgot to record it first. So I already had like half the house done when I started recording. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of like figuring out a cool house design. Obviously, I said these were going to be houses. There is one thing I don't like when I was building these, and this was the first time I used a reference in the whole video, is I kind of just had to look up house references because I didn't know what I was going to do. Well, specifically roof references. I had a good idea of what I was going to do for the houses, but I didn't know what I was going to do for the roofs. As you can probably tell, this roof is not going to stay. This is way too tall for this house. And it's also just kind of bland, so I eventually get rid of it, as you'll see in a minute. Because after I finish it, I just kind of take a look over it, and I'm like, that does not look correct on that short of a house. So, as you'll see, I just get rid of it in a minute, if it'll work, yeah. Get rid of it, and then I was originally going to make it shorter, so it fit more, and then I looked at it and I was like, nope, that doesn't work, but I'm going to see where it takes me. And I did that, and still didn't like it, as you'll see in a minute. So this house ends up with a completely different roof. Still doesn't look good for this house. Like, if I had more detail, I might have liked it more, but never really did. So I extended up a bit because I actually removed the walls. And then this is when I looked at my first reference of the video. I looked up roof references, because I'm not the best at building those. I just picked one at random, kind of, and went with it. I chose to go with a slab roof. I'm pretty sure I had some some other blocks. Deep slate here, but originally I was just gonna go spruce. Anyways, I add the deep slate in. It actually looks pretty nice. I love deep slate and spruce mix. It's a pretty nice roof. I definitely could have used that for the other ones, but as you'll see in a minute, I did not. So I finished that, and I'm like, this looks empty, but have to work with it. Because if you were on the inside, I didn't decorate it, but still, it just doesn't look correct. I honestly just stand here for another few minutes just thinking of what I'm going to do. And over here I try to build like flowers on the back and stuff, and then I just fill in the snow, giving up on it. Yeah, that's probably that's what I was talking about in the previous time lapse, where I just kind of filled in, or the second tedious thing was doing the roofs here, because I also had to fill in the snow. I was going to do a snowman, but I was like, I don't want to do armor stands, because I was going to use armor stands for the arms. Anyways, I get to work on the second house here. This one was probably the most annoying house to build, because its shape is just very random. Anyways, I went in there to get the copy of a window pane, whatever you want to call it. So I get that filled in, and then I was like, I'm going to be a psycho, as you'll see in a minute. I'm going to be a psycho. I'm going to do a different type of roof. You'll see that in a minute if I can just hurry up. I thought I got there faster, I just kind of spoiled it. But, yeah, here it is. I was like, I'm going to be a psycho. I'm going to do a whole different type of roof for this house. And so I did. And I regret it so much, because it looks nice on the house. Does not look nice next to the other house with a completely different roof. I should have definitely kept it about the same roof, but my brain was just not braining there, I guess. So I was just like, nope, not doing that. Too lazy. Just gonna fill it in with a different kind of roof. Whatever the heck I was thinking. Oh, I do some dumb things. And then I kind of go in, do a little style that I don't really like to do, which is adding, like, digits to the roof, or whatever you want to call those. Like, the little, whatever you want to call those things up there. You know what I'm talking about. But I just kind of sit there for a minute and decide, like, why am I doing this? And then also kind of thinking, how am I going to do the snow? So I kind of get a good idea, and then work on that, and then I go to this house. And you probably think I'm going to pick one of these two roofs as the roof I do on this build. Yet again, absolute psycho. I gave this house a different roof. It's not really a spoiler this time because it's happened already, but this one's a completely different roof from either of these. I don't know exactly why I did this. I was just like, I'm going to be silly and I'm going to do that, but I regret it so much because this one didn't even look good. Like, I just kind of had it because I didn't know what else to give it. So I go in, I don't know what I'm doing back here. Probably just grabbing the blocks and stuff. At least I kept the same colors of stuff on the roofs. But I should have absolutely just used the same roof from the first one, and yet still didn't. And I regret it so much because it looks terrible. So I was looking at a reference for this roof, and I do like the roof design. It's just, it doesn't really fit for the 3 different roof types here. We have the flat roof, the barn roof, and whatever the heck this is, another flat kind of roof. So I finished that here, and I didn't decorate any of the insides of the house as I was just too lazy to do that. That door was not loading for a second. Anyways, so get the snow placed on. Yet again, I said this is the second tedious part in the whole video is doing the roofs, which included the snow. And then I was just kind of thinking of what to do, and my brain was overworking, so I just took a break here. Okay, so finished all the houses over here at least. There's still some more, but I don't really know how I care about giving them all different roofs. I just tried to do something different for all of them, so they were not the exact same. I might come back and change this. I don't really like the fact that I didn't get snow all over all of it, but we'll just see. And for now, we'll get this done. At least eventually. Why the heck do I do? So I was wrong when I was saying the second longest recording was, I think, day 3 or whatever. I was absolutely wrong in saying that. I think this was day 7, because I actually wasn't here for day 6, so I wasn't able to do that. I would have absolutely done it, but I didn't, because I was just not here. And then, okay, so over here I'm working on this structure. You could probably guess what it is from the shape, mainly. It's a water tower. I worked with a bunch of different designs here, but I just didn't like it until I tried one last thing. And that was just going flat, and then did the roof. And it was looking pretty decent for a water tower, and then I got the snow placed in correctly, and then moved on to the next build. Which took me a minute to think of, and then I was like, I'm gonna build this. And so originally this was actually going to be a Waffle House, because I thought that would be funny, but I was like, I don't know how to build that. I'm going to just build a regular restaurant. So I'm working on building the diner kind of place. And as you can see in some of the builds, there is some of the stone still in the wall, because I was just not wanting to remove it, because it actually looks kind of nice, having some of the stone just inside the build. So I tried a few different roof designs on this yet again. I don't know why I have so many different roofs in this build. And then I got the floor filled in, which was just polished diorite, and yet again, did not decorate because I was too lazy. And then got I forgot to do some when I was building the water tower up there. And so I'm grabbing the blocks over here for the build over there. This is the last build. I don't even think I do it on this day. This might actually be day 5. Still, I doubt it, but it might be. So I get that all filled in, and then get this filled in. If you can probably kind of guess what this is, just kind of a store. I didn't have an exact kind of thing in mind. I just was like, it needs something here, so I'm gonna add a store. I just think it looks kind of nice. And this time I actually went with this flat kind of roof with a little bit inside of it to kind of capture the snow, whatever. add the water pipe kind of thing, whatever the heck that is. It's just that's on buildings that makes it look cooler. So then I was like, I need to work on this, and this is the second build, the whole video, and I think the last one I used a reference on. I used I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but I used a reference from, I think their username's Golden Robin, whatever it is. You probably heard of them, they're a pretty good builder. You're gonna see in a minute what this actually is. Takes a second, but as you can tell, it is a lighthouse, which makes pretty good sense right next to a lake, which actually probably could be a beach. So I get that build. Honestly, this is probably the tallest build. It actually goes higher than the water tower. So, like, not currently, but it will in a second. So I'm just kind of working on this. I didn't really care for it after a minute on it, but I just went with it because I was not able to think of anything else. And then kept going with the height on it. I was just kind of following what the build looked like, but I made it smaller. Obviously, because I'm not able to make a build. It was like way taller and way wider, and I couldn't do that from where I built this. Still a great design, but thinking about how I was going to do light here, and then I looked over at the build, and it actually makes... I'm trying to figure out English. There's the build that they did is actually really easy to follow, especially like shrinking it down somehow. It was actually easier to shrink it down than if I was to just build it regularly. So I get that built, and just kind of look this over, do a few different designs on it. I don't think this is exactly how it was in the image I was looking at, or reference. And if any of you, for some reason, get mad at me for using a reference, just know I am not the only builder that does that. There's pro builders that use references sometimes. That is fine. You can use a reference. It's like artists that use references. It's fine. I use references all the time in both things. So I kind of get that done and start working on the paths. This was probably my favorite part because I love building like trails and stuff. It's just one of my favorite things to kind of terraform out. So I get to work on that. I honestly don't really, after I did it a few times, I was like, I don't really care for the rooted dirt design, but it actually kind of fits with it because I couldn't think of anything else to add to it. So I just kind of added that in, sprinkled some in over there because I forgot to add some extra. It was way too thin when I did that. I kind of added that on the inside. I'm probably talking way too much, but that's just what I do. So I get to work over here on the paths, and so this was probably I think this was the biggest path I did over here. Well, not path, but like more like a parking lot kind of thing. You know what I mean. The kind of dirt area, it's the biggest one I did, I think. And then I work on this down here, way smaller because there was a lighthouse in the way and a store, but up there I had too much room for it, so I was just like, I gotta fill that in. So I get the paths done, which, now that I'm looking at it, actually looks a lot better than I remember it in the world. So, it does look pretty nice from the replay here. May just be biased because I built it. I was gonna say, this is probably the biggest build I've ever made. Day 7 of the Winter Village. I think we can get it done today. I mean, I only have a few days left, so I kind of have to, so... I've honestly didn't think it would go by this fast. I didn't think I'd even make it to the... I didn't even think I'd get it done before the deadline. But here I am. Almost done. Got those 3 buildings left, and then I gotta make the paths. And then one last thing. But let's not waste time. Just get it over with. Okay. Finally finished all the paths and buildings. But as you can probably tell, it's kind of barren, especially up there and down there. So I have a bit more to add, as you can tell. as of now, still not the best builder. I just do this for you guys' entertainment. So I'm working pretty hard on this, seeing like what I can put in here, and in a second, yeah, over here, for a second I tried to build a tree. I don't know exactly why, but I was just like, that does not look correct. It kind of just looks dead. So I kind of gave up after a minute, and originally I was just going to do like a whole tree, and then I was like, that does not look correct, and then that was just too difficult for me. So I kind of just gave up. I'm still working on my trees. I'm not good at them at all. So I'm just kind of figuring out what to do. And if we go up here, this is where I start to build the final structure, which, if you can guess in a minute, it is, if I can build a bit faster, I can actually say what it is, because some people could probably guess it. This is Santa's workshop. I knew I needed to add more like Christmas stuff to it, because currently it just looks like winter. I needed more Christmassy. I should have added a candy cane, but, so I added this to make it more Christmassy. It's honestly hard to tell that it even is Santa's workshop, but honestly, I think it kind of fits. It looks really nice. I was pretty proud of how I did this. And then the roof was actually the hardest part here, because I had to figure out for like 30 minutes what I was going to do here. Not 30 minutes, that would take forever if it was 30 minutes. So I misplaced something there, so I moved it over, got that fixed. And so this is probably my second favorite. I think my favorite might actually just be the water tower. It's just simple, but this is probably my second favorite part of the build, because it was like when I started to realize that this is one of, I'm trying to figure out words, this is going to be something important, because this could, I'm not saying it will, this could be one of my biggest videos on my channel that are regular videos, because currently my regular videos, my last one got 4 views on. I'm not mad about that. I'm glad the 4 people watched that said I was moving, that when I said I was moving over to Twitch. But I'm grateful you guys watch my videos, and I'm only recording this, one for, well actually I've got 2 reasons, but 1, I'm recording this to entertain you guys, 2 is to make a Christmas video, because I've never done that before, and 3 is mainly because I'm at a hard time in YouTube, at least for me, where I'm not doing the best. I'm not mad about it. I'm glad you guys enjoy what or for some reason you guys enjoy what I make. I'm making silly edits on shorts, but I'm doing that, and I'm trying to make this video to entertain you guys more. That's just my whole job. So, hope you guys enjoy it. So far, at least, if you made it this far, I am very grateful for you guys. Not to get, like, this was not meant to be tucked in the video. I never planned to talk about this. I just was like, I want to make a happy video of just me building a Christmassy winter village, because I love those in real life, and I love Minecraft. So I was like, I need to work on this, and now I'm getting kind of, trying to figure out words, but you probably get what I mean. Talking about how grateful I am that you guys let me have this job. Anyways, finish up that over there, and then I was adding the next Christmas thing, and actually the last one, I think, which is, I was originally going to build it over there, but I decided to move it over. And so I'm looking at this is actually the last reference I used. I was wrong about the lighthouse. This is the last reference I used to get this Christmas tree done, because I am terrible at building trees, as I said before. So I get this done. I honestly didn't like the final product, but I was like, it works enough, and I just kind of wanted to have some more Christmas stuff in here. I didn't know what else to do, so I just kind of let that work out. And hope you guys I hope at least someone likes it. It's kind of cool, but I don't really care for it, how I did it. I definitely could have done better. So I finish the tree up, and then I go around adding what will be, well, at first I didn't do that, but I followed the references here especially for Christmas lights. I didn't really like the idea of using glazed terracotta, but now that I'm looking at it, it actually does look really nice for the ornaments. And then I was going to add more, but I was just like, I'm really tired because this is the last day of the video. I was honestly really stressed about it because, yet again, 3 days from Christmas when I was recording this. So I just kind of rushed it and got that done. Honestly, the tree actually reminds me of, like, Whoville, kind of, so. Alright, finally finished most of it. I'm almost done with the build. You're probably wondering what is left. Well, one, the lake down there, and a few extra details. But two, this isn't the whole build. I'm going to do something else for this. Hard to explain exactly what, but basically I'm going to build a case for this, as it's meant to be one of those Winter Villages displays, so might as well get a case for it as well. Now on to the final time-lapse of the video. If you made it this far, I'm really grateful that you guys made it here. As I said in the recording part that comes before this, I'm building the, well, it might have been a bit ago that I said this, but I'm building the case for this, because if you've ever actually seen one of these in real life, you know that they're usually, like, on a table or in a case if they're, like, really special to someone. And I was like, I really want to make this a cool case, especially because, like, every time I look at this now, I just think of one of the cool maps that were, like, hide and seek. I am dying today. Why can I not say seek? One of the cool hide and seek maps me and my friends used to play on Minecraft, so it's just kind of sentimental to see me build something like that. And that's just kind of what I thought of whenever I was building this, and so I was like, I need kind of something if I wanted to ever do that with this map. I need something to hold it all together so you couldn't escape. You can't let the elves escape. So I decided to build a case, and it's also just kind of cool because one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft is build super giant builds that are just like kind of boxes. Not necessarily like just purely a box, but like just kind of a square, if you get what I mean. Don't ask why that cut off, I don't know. It just kind of broke. But it might be a second, because it kind of lagged my game when I did this. But I had to copy and paste it, because I had to move it in there somewhere. Oh yes, because I'm over there. That was a different time that I did this, that's why it's kind of cutting out, because it was out of my render distance. But over here, just kind of working on how I'm going to build this case. For, well, not really case, this is more like a table kind of thing that I'm building. Anyways, as I mentioned before, I would love to play a hide and seek on this, but I would actually have to fix this, because there's places you can't get to in it, so I would have to actually fix it. But if you guys would like to see that, I would do it for you guys, make it a hide and seek map. I would have to learn more about command blocks to do that, but I'll do it for you guys. So over here I'm just kind of like wandering around with it and figuring out how I'm going to build this. I get that done, and then get the whole perimeters done, and then I kind of just go over, copy and paste it up, not copy and paste it, stack it, and then fill in the rim of it, whatever that is, but trying to just detail it more, because it's just a box kind of shape, but it needs to have some details. Oh, I would have done more with it if I was that good at building, but I am not. I'd love if I was, but not that good. So, just kind of thinking here what I'm gonna do with it. I was gonna add some like rims to it to like actually hold up what would be the glass. Over here is when I actually start to, yeah, I cut out the render distance. I had to do that, so I had to copy and paste it. I think it's funny that I just kind of let the water flow down. I just kind of gave up with that. I was like, yeah, let it happen. So I started to like move the actual build over, which was probably the laggiest part of the whole build. Because like I'm placing right down all these blocks, some of which actually count as entities, but no, actually just moving it 3 blocks up, not 3 blocks, but like 10 blocks up, is the laggiest part. So working on this. This is actually probably my favorite part of the video, because I got to realize that I was actually finishing this, and then I realized the box is actually too small. So in a minute, I'm gonna fix that, as you'll see. But I'm just gonna like get this into place, so when I do fix it, I can just move it down a few blocks and done. I actually forgot to grab the bedrock when I was copying that, but I did it the second time. It was kind of stupid that I had to redo that, but anyway, I'm currently just kind of going around and moving the perimeter out, so it's not entirely just gonna be. The glass is meant to go on the spruce planks, not the build, but that's kind of what almost happened. And so I go around, and then I have to fix the corner pieces, because I wanted to make them fit and be the same thing on each side, but it would not fit correctly, or I would have to like fix how big the spruce planks are. So I just kind of went around and chose to do expanding the corners. So it was a lot easier, but it did feel like it took a long time. Over here, I just kind of like did what I could to take this fast. It doesn't really matter. I kind of forgot that I was time-lapsing this. So go over there, and then I finally get to move this down into place. I honestly could have moved it down a bit more, but I chose not to. And then here in a minute, you'll see me actually finally put in the lake. But currently, I think I'm currently stacking up the pillars, or might not be, might be doing something else. I have no clue where the previous me was. Yeah, I'm just going around, I think, making sure things are, yeah, I'm adding sides to it, never mind. I was wrong. So I was adding to the sides of it so you could just see underneath of it until it was hollow. I definitely could have textured it, because if you just come around to the sides, you can see I was just too lazy, and I just said, hey, screw it, I'm just going to do grass. So that's the whole sides of the builds on both sides, and the back even. So I get the, like, kind of wall things done, whatever you want to call these, which are going to be, like, what contains the glass inside of it, so it doesn't, like, fall off, because I want this to actually look kind of, like, real. So I'm getting this built, and I was going to just kind of world edit it, but chose not to. Instead, I just went, like, actually placing it. So I get that all placed down. From here, actually, for some reason, it looks like I'm not going that way, but that just might be my terrible eyesight. So I get the perimeters done. I actually overshot that one, which I did not think I would do, but I think I did it another time over here. So it has been fun making this video for you guys. Oh, yes, yet again, I shot it. Okay. So, if you made it this far, I'm really appreciative of you. You really didn't have to. Whether you listen to this as background sound or actually like paying attention to it, I'm grateful for you watching it. And yet again, if you'd like to like actually use this map, just I don't like asking people to do stuff, because I don't really want to force people into stuff or make them feel like they're forced. But if you would like to actually check out this map, I might find a way to do the link and put it on my Discord. So if you want any news about that, you might want to head over to my Discord. I'm not going to force you to, but just recommending. So I got the glass put around, and it would look a lot better if I used Optifine, but I was using Replay Mod, as I said. So, and then I finally get the lake done. Now the glass is there to like hold it in. I definitely could have done that when I was doing it over there, but I chose not to. And then the water was actually not as hard as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult to fill this in, but it was way easier than it should have been. I did have to drain it once or twice, because I did not put it in correctly, and then I just chose, wait, I can world edit it. That's like when I realized I could world edit it. So I'm just kind of filling in the water, and then in a minute I do the ice, which I think goes a layer up, or, yeah, it goes on the layer of ice, or layer of water. So just kind of filling in the ice here. This is about the end of the build, for this at least. I didn't want to, I wanted to originally just make this all ice, but I was like, that does not fit correctly, especially if this is more of an ocean, not a lake. So it should just be ice that kind of breaks off, but I would probably, if I was to fix this, make this all ice here. Kind of just looking around, see if there's anything I can fix before I finish. And then, yet again, I start recording while I'm using Replay Mod. And so I think it's just funny to watch myself go around, explaining in video depth what I'm doing. I think that's just funny. But thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, I'm very appreciative of you guys. Yet again, if you want news on this, I recommend my Discord. I'm not going to ask you guys to join it. And if you want more news on what I'm going to be uploading, yet again, over on my community tab, I upload, or posting constantly there, of like what I'm doing, or what I want to do as a video, stuff like that. See you all next time. Have a very Merry Christmas. After a long, hard work week, I have finally finished the Winter Village. I know there's not too much Christmas in it, with that being basically the only thing, but it's still pretty good. I definitely could have done better, but on the time crunch I'm on, not going to work too hard. Not trying to overwork myself. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this experience of me building this. And if you guys want to see more, maybe I'll pop up on your For You page again. I doubt it, but you'll see.